Difficult question program is on the air. Today our guest is the head of 21st Century Education Center, Etibar Aliyev. Welcome to our studio. Thank you. Today we will discuss education fees and problems. My first question is a social question. You are author of several books and have appeared to several publishing houses. What were your problems? My three books have been published in two publishing houses. There were some several serious problems. Among them, we can speak about editing, the low quality of the publication, the weight of the paper, and other problems which are common for Azerbaijan publishing house. Did you face any problems regarding the Azerbaijan fonts? Yes, of course we faced. As to the fonts, as they use low quality old printing machines, we face these problems. And now about the main topic. How many of the students in the universities pay education fees? We speak about the bachelor and master education. Every state's education policy is underlined by the availability of education for the citizens in the republic. Evaluation of the talent, skills. But unfortunately, so far in Azerbaijan, these values are not taken into consideration. But these values are preferred in world practices. The paid education in Azerbaijan began to be applied since 1998 when a new education system legislation began to be applied. Until then, a Soviet education system was applied. Earlier, they were claiming that the paid education will never prevail over free education, but we see now that 65% of education is paid in the universities and 35% is unpaid in the universities. As to the prices for marks, grades, in state-run enterprises, what is the price differences between state-run universities and private universities? It can be said that if we take into consideration the specialties, there is a difference of 2,500 or 3,500 Azeri manats difference. In whole the world, the preparation of technical specialties, technical specialists costs much more than preparation of specialists in other spheres. But in Azerbaijan, it is the opposite. Moreover, in some universities, some university leaders claim that the education fees in the world universities cost 20,000 or 30,000 Azeri manats, US dollars, but it cannot be compared to Azerbaijan, not only from the point of view of salaries. Those universities are the universities known in the whole world. And what about the private universities? Because I see that the highest prices are placed in private universities. In private universities, the education fees are not regulated by any normative or legislative acts. It can be openly set. They even hide their education fees in for example, education magazines. They don't show it. In those private universities, of course, the education fee is too high, because the material and technical base in those schools are very low. They don't have professional professor staff. They don't have qualified personnel. But nonetheless, education quality has not been evaluated in these universities. And in a university with low quality education, it is not right to set high prices. The monthly average monthly salary for Azerbaijan is 315 Azeri manats in Azerbaijan. Do you think a family with this salary can pay about 500 US dollars for education of their children? How can they pay these funds? The students gaining the highest points come from the low-income families, though. The issue of monthly salary is very interesting. The annual salary of the family, annual income of the family is equal to annual education fee of the students. In European countries, in the universities with highest education fees, the students don't face such problems if their parents' salary is enough to pay the education fee. They pay this education fee for their students. But if not, there is also a bank system, bank networks who lend money on credit with very low interest. They provide the students with credits basing upon the offers from the universities. Sometimes the authorities speak about the competition, but no university would like to lose a student with high points, because these students will improve the university's image. For example, if he is a student of Sabah University or an Oxford. But in Azerbaijan, it is not the case. In Azerbaijan, the university demands the student to pay the whole education salary in advance. It's a very negative affair. They don't let their parents to ease. It means if you don't have money, you don't have to study. Thank you for coming to our studio. Today our guest was the head of 21st Century Education Center, Etibar Aliyev.